Hello everyone, this is Rocky. And
This is Miraj.
Yeah, so we are going to talk about some non-verbal communication, about business communication on Finland. So as we know, non-verbal communication plays very important role on business communication. So here are some key points. So I will talk about it first, but eye contact. So Finns people value direct eye contact when business communication, when they actually talk with someone. So avoiding too much eye contact is interpreted can be a sign of lack interest and dishonesty.
Now I'm going to talk about personal space. Finns generally value their personal space more in business communication. Standing too close is avoidable, and they want the other one to be respectful to their boundaries.
The third point I'm going to talk about is tone of voice. It's very important. Tone of voice defines different meaning in business communication. So Finns people tend to have soft spoken, not to so loud and not to so aggressive mood. So speaking loudly can be seen as very unprofessional.
Facial expressions. Finns tend to have a reserved manner. They don't use a lot of facial expressions while communicating in business. They want to keep it simple.
The number 1.5 is hand gesture. So Finns people tend to have minimal hand gesture in business communication. They can prefer only handshakes, and so many hand gesture they use, but they prefer only handshakes. Using too many hand gesture may be seen as unprofessional, as we say, and lack of the interest.
And the last one is punctuality. Finns are very punctual in business curriculums, so they expect the other ones to be punctual too. Getting late in meetings or dates is disrespectful to them. Overall, it is important to maintain a respectful manner while communicating in business purposes in Finland. Thank you.
Where's the clap? So that was a very nice presentation. I'll tell you why. I'll give comments on everyone's presentation, and I'll also comment how to improve on it. Okay? So this was as we are doing business communication course, right? So communication, both verbal and non-verbal, is important, right? So you have done written communication. Now it's time to verbal communication. So প্রতিটা ক্লাসে এরকম অ্যাক্টিভিটি থাকবে, আর আমি কিভাবে আপনি যে আজকের জন্য বলছিলেন যে আমরা কি শুধু থিওরি পড়বো নাকি ওই ইমপ্লিকেশনসগুলো পড়বো বা আমরা টিপস বা মেথডগুলো পড়বো. সো দিস ইজ হাউ উই অ্যাকচুয়ালি ডিসকাস অ্যাবাউট দ্য মেথডস, বিকজ আনলেস or until you do it, you will not be able to understand how to do it, right? And what's wrong with the process. এই জন্য আপনার আগে পড়তে হবে, পড়ার পরে আমি আপনাকে ভুল ধরে দিতে পারবো যে ভুলটা কোথায়. ওকে, সো অ্যাজ দিস ইজ দ্য ফার্স্ট প্রেজেন্টেশন ক্লাস, ডোন্ট গেট অ্যাফ্রেড, আপনি আপনার বেস্ট দেন. ওকে, নেক্সট গ্রুপ চলে আসেন, সিরিয়াল বাই চলে আসেন. আপনাদের সিরিয়ালে পিছিয়ে গেছিলেন, গ্রুপ চলে আসেন. সিরিয়াল বাই আসবেন, দ্যাট মিন্স যে গ্রুপটা বললো তার পিছিয়ে যে ইমিডিয়েট গ্রুপটা আছেন তারা আসবেন. দেয়ার ইজ নো রিকোয়েস্ট ফর দ্যাট. ওকে, আমি যে গ্রুপটা আসতে বলবো সেই গ্রুপে আসবেন. চলে আসেন. আপনি কোন গ্রুপের সাথে ট্যাগ হননি, তারপরে এতক্ষণ পরে কথাটা বলছেন. ওকে, তার পিছিয়ে কে আছেন? নো টাইমস আপ এখনই. আচ্ছা, এখন আমি কিন্তু বলছি স্টপ রাইটিং. সো এরপরে যারা লিখবেন তাদের প্রেজেন্টেশন কিন্তু আমি নিব না, বিকজ ইটস নট ফেয়ার. ওকে, সবাইকে সমান টাইম দেওয়া হয়েছে. আপনি যদি টাইমের বেশি নেন তার মানে কিন্তু ইটস নট ফেয়ার. আপনি নতুন ইনফরমেশন অ্যাড করতে পারবেন না. সো চলে আসেন.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ibrahim and he's Yasin, as you know. So I'm talking about the business, non-verbal business communication about the Malaysian culture. The first point is Malaysians are greeting their both hands while they are the Malaysian while they are greeting, they offer their both hands and shake, and they kiss the hand into their chest. It means they are greeting at the bottom of their heart. And the second
Some
one,
of one from your group can act. You are talking, you can act. How they actually greet.
Okay.
The opponent party, your groupmate can also act, right? How to do it?
they are offering their both hands and put their chest.
See? So, আপনি যখন বলেন একটা জিনিস তখন অনেক সময় এক্সপ্রেস করা যাবে না, রাইট? সো আপনি যখন জিনিসটা লাইভ দেখবেন তখন আপনি বুঝবেন যে আসলে কিভাবে করা হয়, because their system is actually unique. That's why I told them to show this to you guys. Okay. Then
The second point he will press.
The second point is body language. Placing one hand to their hips and or their in their pocket during conversation is indicated to anger.
okay, anger.
And the third point is Malaysians are slightly bowing to avoid the excuse me words. So that's our presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay. There are some interesting facts, right? Okay. Now the next group. চলে আসেন। Okay, everyone please pay attention.
Hello, welcome everyone. We are now
স্কুলের মতো অবস্থা ক্লাসে।
representing Arab world culture of non-verbal communication in business communication. So I am representing Jubo and with my fellow. Right. So we start with some basic posture that the Arab culture don't like in business communication, like slow feet in while the walking is very offensive, and sit back to back is considering also very rude. And looking at the watch while we are conversation with other party is also considered very rude. So we should be avoid while we are communicating with a Arab world person in business communication about this topic. And my fellow friend will also describe you some another non-verbal communication.
I describe about eye contact. So Arab culture make long eye contact, believe it, show interest and help them understand truthfulness of the other person. So third one, I talking about touch. Typical don't touch with the left hand. To do is social insult. The left hand. So we are. So I talking about the third point. I will touch more between the same sex. So hold and hug each other.
And in generally they hold their hand in a very long time. They shaking with their right hand and it considering friendly, and when they agree they hold back you the back to back. It's also a point of positiveness. And in social distance, Arab tends to stand each other very close, and in their paraverbal tone, loud indicate the strength and softness indicate the weakness. And another thing we forget. feet বলা হচ্ছে okay that's overall it they are is the basic approach of their business communication.
Okay, you said discussed on one point, right? Where you say they use right hand and not left hand, and if they use left hand, then what's the comment? What the comment was you were discussing?
It's a kind of insulting.
Okay, if someone use left hand while communicating or take something with the left hand, right, or shake, that means that is insulting. Do you know why? Basic common sense. In Muslim religion, we consider doing everything with the right hand, right? Eating with all the good things, taking something. So right hand has a dominance in our religion, right? That is why they take it as an insult. Okay? যেহেতু সৌদি আরব রিলিজিয়াস কান্ট্রি মুসলিম ডমিনেটেড ওকে আচ্ছা সামনের গ্রুপ চলে আসেন আপনারা পরে আসেন
একটা গ্রুপ স্কিপ করে গেছে
হ্যাঁ
একটা গ্রুপ স্কিপ করে গেছে
আচ্ছা চলে আসেন
যা যা
Just take a bole diba.
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে আচ্ছা আপনারা চলে আসেন ওদের পরে আপনারা আসবেন চলে আসেন Okay, everyone, please pay attention.
Non-verbal business communication in English. Expression. The British do not always expression. The British do not always given anyone their emotions via facial expression. For example, they may not show it if they have been offended. On the other hand, keeping the straight, serious face can be the punch line to make sarcastic jokes. Personal space. The British type do not be given a fair amount of personal space. They may feel uncomfortable if someone stands too close. When their space is available, it is polite to maintain an arm's length distance between yourself and the person speaking.
Where is the class? So, comments for you. You have to talk a bit louder, both of you, okay? Because I was standing close to one feet, right? But I couldn't hear properly, okay? So you have to raise your voice a little, okay? Okay. Last group যে আশা করতে ছিল, চলে আসেন এখন। এভাবে করে কিভাবে চলবে বলেন? আপনার জবে যে কি করবেন? ফ্রেন্ডকে বলবেন আমার ইন্টারভিউ দিয়ে আয়, আমি গাইড
বিজনেস কমিউনিকেশন কিভাবে করতে হয়
পিছিয়ে কথা হবে না। পিছন থেকে চলে আসুন। না না পিছন থেকে আসুন। অনেক কথা বলা হয়েছে, অনেক কিছু
Assalamualaikum. I'm Tazin. We are talking about non-verbal communication of Pakistan. Personal space. Pakistan are generally not concerned with personal space and will stand close to their subjects than in Western culture.
Physical contact. It is common for people to be physically affectionate with those of the same gender. For example, men may put their arms on their other's shoulder and feel comfortable to touch each other. However, public displays of affection between opposite genders are considered to be very
Hence, there is separation between the function of the hand in Pakistan culture. The custom is tied to Islamic principle that left hand should be used to removal of dirty and for cleaning. It should not be used for functional such as having, eating, offering items. Therefore, one should gesture touch people of item using the right hand or both hands.
eye contact. It is rude to look someone directly in the eye while talking to them. It signifies arrogance and also can be perceived as seeking validation. Lowering on gaze is respectful and shows that one is not yearning for attention.
Gestures. Pounding on wrist into hand of stronging on bread signal revenge. Tapping your hands on your head can be interpreted as meaning you feel display. For the person you are talking to, the thumb up symbol and symbol for okay.
Yes, holding on to one's ears can signal remorse or repentance when feeling guilty.
Winking. Winking has sexual connotation and should be avoided altogether.
Smiling. Pakistanis tend to have quite a serious front and maybe smile at strangers often. Don't expect to receive many smiles until you have gotten to know them.
So, there are some fun facts, right? Now, tell me, what are the similarities between Pakistani non-verbal culture and Saudi Arab? There was one common thing. What was that? আপনারা ঠিকভাবে শুনেন নাকি শুনেন না? দেখি কে বলতে পারে? বলেন। What about handshake?
Right hand use.
Pakistan and Saudi, they also take it very rude if you use left hand for offering food or for handshake. You have to use right hand. The same reason because Muslim culture, okay? That is a Muslim country. That is why their rules are similar. Okay, there was one thing about wink, right? We didn't get it in other culture. Winking. So winking, এটা তার মানে কি opposite gender কে একটা message দেওয়া, right? That means I'm interested to you. That is why পাকিস্তানে যে কখনো কোনো ফিমেলকে আপনার বিজনেস কালচারে কখনো কাজে যান উইং করবেন না, তাহলে সবাই মিলে মানে গণপিরিয়ড যাওয়া শুরু করতে পারে, তাই না? কারণ তার মানে কি যে আপনি একটা ইন্টারেস্ট শো করছেন তারপরে। ওকে, এখন তাহলে নেক্সট গ্রুপ চলে আসেন সামনে।
Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. We are talking about non-verbal business communication in Java. First of all, bow. Bow means getting or showing respect with the department of the bow, referencing the formality of the
maintain equity.
A bit louder. শুনতে পাচ্ছি না, একটু জোরে।
Maintain equity, eye contact, showing appropriate without the process increase status.
control facial expression. Displaying awareness and having emotional reactions.
Embassy silence and the pressure, allowing for the reflection and the respect in the conversation.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. I'm here. This is Ahmed. Today's presentation topic is Turkish non-verbal communication. First of all, physical contact. Turkish are generally quite often tactile people. It is common for friends of the same gender to kiss during the greetings. Our hug on another. People are generally to seem open affection between couples or children in public.
Personal space, the natural distance that people tend to keep between one another is closer than what is common in many Western countries. For example, tables may be placed quite close to each other in a restaurant. If a third indifferently stands on sides within your personal space, avoid stepping back or moving away as this may give the wrong impression.
And last one, body language. Avoid standing with your hands on your hips or in your pockets, especially while talking to those of a higher status or older than yourself. Thank you.
এরপরে
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Abdullah and he is my partner coding Kobe. Today I will talk about non-verbal business communication in Nepal.
The most common form of greeting in Nepal is the action of namaste, in which the hands are held together below the chin. If you are male, shaking hands with female colleagues is appreciated. However, abstain from handshaking female colleagues. If you are a woman, shaking hands with both men and women is acceptable.
Eye contact. Eye contact need to be taken into account when traveling to Nepal, as too much eye contact would be considered aggressive behavior, especially toward older people or employers.
Raising your voice at others is not appreciated. Other offensive means of non-verbal communication would be pointing your feet at people when sitting on the ground, walking in between people who are talking, and offering anything to anyone or eating with your left hand, as this is considered unclean.
Handshake. In Nepal, a firm handshake is an acceptable form of greeting in a business setting. It is important to make eye contact while shaking hands and avoid using excessive force.
Body language. Maintaining good posture, standing or sitting upright, and Leaning slightly forward can convey confidence and interest in the conversation.
Okay, for the next group? Yes.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm going to talk about business non-verbal business communication in India. There's some words about physical contact. Indians prefer not to touch people when it can be avoided. They may touch someone's arm or hand when speaking so long as they are the same gender. And there is another point: personal space. Indians generally respect each other's personal space. An arm's length of distance is common during interactions. And there is another head tilt. People may tilt their head to the side and shake it to the both sides to indicate agreement and understanding. And shrug of the shoulder and tilting one's head to the side, this means I don't know.
I gonna speak about nodding. Indians will often nod to noise what is said out of politeness. However, this does not always mean they understand or agree. Eye contact. Keep eye contact. The opposite gender women avoid eye contact. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next group. Ahmed.
It's me about Rishab and here is with me Tazin. Now I am talking about Korean non-verbal communication. Bowing. Bowing is a common form of greeting and showing respect in Korea. The depth and duration of the bow can vary depending on the situation and the level of respect being shown. Eye contact. Eye contact is considered important in Korea communication. Maintaining appropriate eye contact during conversation show attentiveness and respect. However, prolonged or intense eye contact may be seen as confrontational or impolite. Facial expression. Koreans often use facial expression to convey emotions or to express agreement or disagreement. A smile is generally seen as positive gesture, while showing negative emotions openly may be considered employed or confrontational.
The fourth one is nodding and head tilting. Nodding is a common way to show agreement or understanding in Korea. Additionally, a slight head tilt can be used to express curiosity or interest in what the other person is saying. The last one is respect for elders and hierarchy. Korean culture places a strong.
Okay, the last group I did, right? Second last group.
Hello everyone. This is Faisal. Here we are presenting the presentation of non-verbal business communication of China. Handshaking with lean hand. Pinky finger offense. It's safe to use your whole hand rather than finger. Bowing is a sign of showing respect to other people.
Physical contact, they avoid touching people. People usually bow to signify respect and humility. Chinese people don't like to use their hands or arms to chop the many Westerners do.
About feet. Taking off your shoes and wearing shorts in front of them is dirty.
They will also not talk about feelings directly, but rather communicate them with facial expressions, tone of voice, or body posture. Thank you.
Okay, the last group.
Assalamualaikum. I am Ahmed. We are talking about non-verbal communication in China. Personal space. The Chinese tend to be comfortable standing just over an arm's length from one another. When meeting strangers, this distance will be further.
And I'm talking about physical contact. The Chinese generally do not touch people that strangers would them useless. It is unavoided. However, close friends or the same gender may be stand or sit close to one another and warm arm in arm. They will avoid touching during conversation unless it is to a family member or close friend or a partner.
Third point, eye contact. Indeed, eye contact is considered a sign of politeness. One may lower their gaze someone older or more senior than them as a sign of respect. Direct eye contact is more common in casual conversation as well as arguments.
Fourth point is silence. Silence is an important and purposeful tool used in Chinese communication. Pausing before giving a response indicates that someone has applied appropriate thought and consideration to the question. The significance of politeness and respect.
Fifth point, pointing. It is common for people to point with their index finger. This is not considered rude.
Beckoning is done by pressing the palm of one's hand to the ground and waving one's finger toward oneself.
7 point, last point, body language. Striking shoulders and winking are both gestures that are not always understood by Chinese people.
Okay, so that's all for our group presentation today, right? Okay, there are some interesting information from every group, right? So you can see, right, non-verbal communication is different in every country. Where in Muslim countries they have some restriction in hand gestures and using right hand, they prioritize right hand, and also they cannot directly communicate with the female, right? Females. But in Western country it is allowed for both male and female to handshake or hug, right? And in Chinese and Japanese culture, see, they are confused about the winking. Whereas in Pakistan, if someone winks, that means you are attracted to the opposite person. But in China, they feel confused, right? If someone winks, they don't know how to react because they don't know that language, body language, winking. Okay. So there are different non-verbal forms which comes from different countries. And if you go to a country, not only for visit, for business, for visiting, for tour, you need to know these gestures, right? If you don't know, then what will happen? You might give them some wrong impression about you, wrong vibe about you, right? There is an interesting fact in Chinese culture. You say pointing, talking while like pointing, like this, right? With the index finger. That is not wrong in China. But what happens if we talk with our index finger, raising index finger with our older in Bangladesh?
This will be insulting.
That will be very insulting, right?
Shows arrogance.
Yeah, arrogancy. So same gesture, but considered one seems normal, one seems good. Okay, so that was the whole message of our non-verbal communication. I hope you guys are very clear and will not forget this lesson. Okay, and non-verbal communication নিয়ে কখনো জানো কেউ কোশ্চেন করলে ভুল আনসার না দেন। Okay, আচ্ছা, I'm gonna just take 5 minutes, then we'll take a quick break. Okay, after that we'll continue our next class. Now, next come to our presentation part. Today's topic was non-verbal communication, but the main purpose was to actually engage you guys in both verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay, so you guys did writing, that was a part of non-verbal written communication, and verbal communication is the presentation, which is very important. Right, you are in 10th semester, which means you are a bit senior and you have prior experience in presentation in some courses perhaps. And in future, you will be leading in different business organizations where you need to give presentation every day, right? So for today's presentation, I gave 2 groups priority. Okay, more or less, you guys had the same thing, right? Same body gesture and same voice tone and everything. Okay. Now, what are the negative points that I didn't like, and you have to change those, okay, for presentation. First one was, don't read out from your slides or your page or your mobile. Okay, you have to make eye contact. You are saying eye contact is very important, but you are not making any eye contact. Okay, so that was missing in most of the groups. Okay, that was a very negative point. And the second thing was, some of you, your voice was too low to hear. Okay, so you have to be a little louder and a little clear. Okay, talk in a slow pace, but talk in a clear manner so that everyone can hear you. Okay, that was my second point. And third point, some of you didn't prepare at all. You just went to a website and just talked from there. It was very long. I gave you guys about 20 minutes, right, to prepare yourself. So you should have taken notes and discussed it with us. If you only read from the slide, then that is too boring. No one's gonna hear you. That is not called presentation, that is reading. But I said it's presentation, right, not reading. Reading is when I'll say, okay, read from the page, then you will just read, okay? But that was not reading, that was presentation. Presentation, you have to move. Most of you just stood in one place, didn't move. You have to move, you have to use a hand, you have to change your face expression, right? You could use your hands and you could show some communication with your classmates as a sample or example, right? So that could be done here, okay? So these are some negative points which I found today, and I hope in the upcoming classes you are going to improve that, okay? Ekdine to hobe na, but we have to try, right? Keep on trying. And some of you were shaking like hell, okay? Like literally shaking. And I could still see that. I know in presentation it might happen in the first places, okay? And it is very normal. So take it very easily. It will move on, it will pass on, okay? আপনি যত বেশি practice করবেন, practice will make you perfect. The more you will face the audience, the more fear will come out of you, okay? That's the only solution. আর কিছু না, so এটা নিয়ে ভয় পাওয়ার কিছু নাই, বা এটা নিয়ে embarrassed হওয়ার কিছু নাই, okay? Because we are all like, they are all your friends here, right? Classmates. So এদের সামনে যদি আপনি comfortable না হন, বাইরেও কিন্তু comfortable হতে পারবেন না। আর একটা খুবই bad জিনিস, সেটা হচ্ছে যখন কেউ presentation দেয়, you have to listen to that person. It is very rude to not listen to that person, okay? So while giving presentation, don't talk, okay? That is very rude, and I don't like that personally. Next time এমন করবেন, আমি কিন্তু ক্লাস থেকে বের করে দেব। Clear? And the second thing, don't laugh at your friend. You are not that good. No one was that good, okay? So don't laugh. আপনি যখন এখানে আসবেন তখন আপনারও সেম অবস্থাই হবে, একটু খারাপ একটু বেশি। So don't laugh at one's failure, okay? So that was all from me. And anyone have any question? No? Okay, so let's announce today's winner, shall we? First, the reason was they actually take note, which I really liked, small notes, okay? So see, if you bring out a whole page, it looks very bad. That means you are reading from the page. Or if you just use your mobile, you are scrolling, that means your attention actually goes here and there. But if you use small notes, it is in your hands and no one can see that, and it's not distracting, right? You are seeing and talking with your audience. So it's more appropriate and professional. That's why I like the presentation. The information you guys gave was good. Okay, every group tried to provide as much as information that I wanted. So on the basis of information, there is nothing wrong. Okay, everyone was on point. But in terms of presentation, I chose this group, and I would like to give another group a bonus mark for their try. That was okay. Nepal. The beginning was very good. There is more energy, and you guys actually did your best, tried your best actually. So for that, I will give you the point, and hopefully in the next upcoming classes, I will see more improvement from you guys. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so our first battle is done, right? First class is done. Though we have taken 15 minutes from the next class, we will start our next class at sharp 12. Okay, pause for then. Shobai 15 minutes break then.